Hello friends, Cartoon Mark here. Full disclaimer, I don't know everything about caricature. I do it as a hobby, but hopefully I can pass on some information that I've learned along the way and help you out with your journey. And here we go. If I were to pick the most top 3 books on caricature, or if you want to learn caricature, if I had to pick 3 or 4 books, these are the ones. Number 1, the obvious Bible, The Mad Art of Caricature by Tom Richmond. Okay, forward by Jack Davis right there. I attended the Caricature Workshop in January of 2019. I don't think Tom's doing any more workshops. If they are, they're going to be virtual. But go get his book, forward by Nick Meglin from Mad Magazine. Very good book, explains what caricature is, about presence, recognizability, exaggeration, and statement, mild to wild. Actually, really important part talks about distortion, what caricature isn't. Such as this is distorted from her face. That's not her likeness. That's more of her likeness here. Her eyes are wide apart. That upper lip is pushed up to the nose, whereas here the eyes are close together, the T shape. Talk about head shapes and T shapes. I don't want to give away the whole book here. I want you to go buy it from Tom. Doesn't that look like Jerry Seinfeld without hair? I always thought that. So go get Tom's book, and this is important too, the weight. When you pull and push, think of it like a water balloon. But definitely check out Tom's book and his work. And he gets into illustration, hair, eyes, everything. Tom is the master. I believe he learned from Gary Fazin, from Fazin Arts. What I like is the live section here. He takes you step by step. And that's what I do. I'm a party artist. I don't do illustration. So that's just me. Number 2 book of the top 3 that you should be having is by Keelan Parham. I use this one the most. It's more direct for me because I have a short attention span. Keelan runs the caricature operation in Orlando at Disney Springs, I believe. Artistic Talent Group, I believe, is what they're called. Maybe I'll be down there as a snowbird drawing some caricatures. That's the plan anyway. Kenny, he was in our Orlando workshop. So I like Keelan's book because he breaks it down real direct, real quick and dirty, what you need to get into right away. If you want to get doing this tomorrow or today, get this book. Tom's book is more, you read it, you digest it, you practice it over and over. This will get you started anyway. So I like it. It's just more simplified for me, and it's more like park sketches when we talk about park sketch versus a gig sketch. Quick story about the word gig sketch. I did a caricature. I worked, like I said, I'm mainly a gig artist, where I do parties and events. And this book is so much falling apart. I've used it so much. Look, it's... Keelan, send me another one. So I do mainly gigs and parties. So I forced myself to put myself into a retail situation. There's not much of retail caricature here in the Albany, New York area, except in the summertime when the fairs come. So I basically called up the fair guys and found out who they were and said, hey, can I have a job when you come here to Albany? They're like, yeah. I mean, that was it, guys. That's all I said. All I did. Yeah, they looked me up and did their homework and saw my work was acceptable. And they hired me for the Altamont Fair and Scotticoke Fair. I couldn't do it this year due to my work schedule, though. But anyway, my buddy Jeff says to me, when I did a couple sketches, he looks over and shakes his head and goes, that's such a gig sketch. I was like, man, why do I feel like that was an insult? And it probably was. But I needed to hear that because I was a gig sketch artist and it was quick and not much of this stuff. It was just not too detailed. And I've learned to slow down a bit. And I'm glad Jeff said that to me. That's such a gig sketch. So now I focus on doing kind of like park sketches. When there's a kid sitting for me at an event, I'll say, hey, do you have a favorite sport or hobby? And I put their name up there also. And that's what you should be doing, injecting something that's of them into the caricature. I like his silhouettes. I really love Keelan for, he's got some sayings. When in doubt, black it out. And also, when in doubt, leave it out. So silhouettes are very important. It gives you contrast in your black and white drawings, in all of your drawings. Now, the third book you need to have is by Jim Vanderkyle. It's a quick little book for gag ideas, and that's what you need to do when you are drawing caricatures. Quick little gag bodies. I struggled with bodies and ideas for so long, and this was like, Yahoo, I found it. So get this book if you want to start today. Memorize these drawings over and over and over and draw them so you can commit them to memory, and you can be like a freaking Xerox machine and make that cash register ring, all right? But and on a side note, I just love caricature, and the money is just a side benefit. Again, I'm not a full-timer at it, but get this book. It's really good for the quick bodies. Oh, I have some fortune-telling fish in here. My nieces. Okay, an honorable mention. These are the 3 books right here. And one that you should get is The Ultimate Guide to Modern Live Caricature. I believe Manny Avetizian got this book going, along with a few others. He even wrote me a nice little enjoy, buddy. And he drew my caricature because I was like a Kickstarter backer or whatever. Get this book. These are some, a word of warning, these are some amazing artists. And they are more on the highly exaggerated side, which isn't really my thing yet. I love it. I appreciate it. But Tom Richmond said something in his workshop about this highly exaggerated caricature. They're great. They're awesome. He goes, but when you get into stuff like this, it becomes something else. That's his exact words. He says, it's not caricature, it's something else. And that's no slight to these artists. And Nick Nippy's awesome. And some of these other guys are awesome. But I kind of agree with that. And I mean, it's awesome. But as far as like when a guest sits down to you, the average typical guest sits down, they're not expecting that. But yes, you have an artistic license. You can do whatever the hell you want. That's the beauty of cartooning. Like, if I got that, I'd be like, Chris Chua, what is it? I mean, it's freaking awesome. But hey, that's just something I'm saying that Tom said in his workshop. He did say that it becomes something else. But these are awesome to look at. Awesome. Like, there's a fine line you want to get in between. And Paul Avinze is the guy who I gravitate to because he walks that tightrope of highly exaggerated yet pleases the customer. That's what you want to do. You don't want to overdo it. And he's great. This book is great. Go get this book. Look at this, Paul. He's probably one of my favorite artists, and I love his work. Go get the book. Those are my 4 caricature books. If you want to get into caricature, these are the books you should have. Thanks for watching. Cartoon Mark here. Give me a like, a comment. What books do you have? Which book in here was your favorite? Any tips? Also, give me a subscribe if you want. More videos to come. Cartoon Mark signing off. Thank you.